Welcome to my review of my new iiiF150 B 2021 phone. I got this one to replace the one I had given to my daughter.
Rugged phone. I had one before which I've given to my daughter because she needed a new phone for the charity she works for, and I'm off on an expedition in a week's time, so I've got myself a replacement. So let's have a quick look and see what it's like. Inside the box it's wrapped in a piece of plastic to keep it nice and clean, presumably in the warehouse. Another reason for the extra layer of wrapper is to bundle in the UK plug, because there's room inside the box for a European type plug, but not for one of our better, safer UK type plugs, which they provide. It's one of these ones that folds, so you can pack it into your bag a bit more compactly, but you can just pull it out to use it normally. So here is the phone in its box. There's some information on the back about it. It's a moderately heavy phone, so it feels moderately heavy in its box. Get the phone out of the box, ready to get it set up. The phone, it's one of these ones that's variously described as yellow and mustard, or sandy coloured. My original one was black. I think this is probably marginally preferable, although to be honest I would quite like the black one with sort of orange piping around the case, so that you've got the two colours to make it a bit more visible if you ever drop it in the water or anything. So the phone has got a fingerprint sensor on the side. The fingerprint sensor on the side works better than most side fingerprint sensors do. A power button, volume buttons, then along the top here there's no openings at all. Down the side here you've got the SIM holder. You can fit two SIMs and a memory card in here if you want to. You get a special little pin for pulling them out, which is in the box here. This is the smart button. You can choose what the short and double press buttons do, but the long button is hard coded to put it into expedition mode. Yeah, I think it would be quite nice if you could actually turn that option off, so you've only hard coded to go into expedition mode when you're going to want to use expedition mode. But there you are. Obviously expedition mode is a big part of the raison d'etre for the phone. And then down the bottom here there's another cover which covers over a C-type power connector and a audio jack plug, so you can plug your audio phones in there. It's just under 6 inches screen size. It's Corning Gorilla Glass, so you don't necessarily need a screen protector, although one is available separately on Amazon should you ever wish to get yourself one. This cover needs a little bit of pushing back in to get it into the right position. It eases off a little bit after a while. So on the back here you've got 4 cameras. One of them is a macro, one of them is a normal camera, and then there's a depth camera. I'm not quite sure what the other one is. Apparently the camera app automatically selects them, although I believe macro mode you can select manually yourself. And here is the flash LED. That's actually quite a large bright LED, so it's really quite useful. And then of course on the front you've got the front facing camera and a speaker, and there's a microphone down the bottom somewhere for when you're using it. No, it's down there for when you're using it normally as a phone. And it's also got speakers on the back. It's quite a good phone. The sound quality is not too bad from what I remember. A bit heavier than most, that's because of the large battery. You get an instruction book which tells you all the stuff I've just told you. You get a little blurb about the philosophy of the company and a warranty certificate. You get your C-type cable, quite a decent C-type data and cable. And then in here is the SIM pin, and it's got this little hook on the back to get the SIM tray out. So if I just pull the SIM tray out so you can see how it's done, you push in on the hole on the end and unlock it, and then you reach in with this little hook and hook out the tray. Everything goes in from this side, I think, if I remember correctly. Yes, it does. So you put the phone, from this side. Got it completely wrong there. So you turn the phone upside down to put the SIM cards and the memory card in and out. It'll take allegedly up to 256 gig of memory. I'm going to put a 64 gig in to go with the 64 that's in the phone already. That'll take it up to 128, which is as much as I need.
So looking at the label at the back, on the back it describes the colour as mustard. There's also a loop on the back for attaching a lanyard, which you've seen in some of the other shots, which is quite a good idea. So this is just putting in the 2 memory cards, the 2 cards, and then pushing it in with the plug, because I've dropped the SIM pin on the floor at this point in time, so it's all ready to use now.
Little tone, and then in a minute I need to select English United Kingdom. Where are we? English United Kingdom, start. So it's now connected to the network and checking for updates, which will take a few minutes, and then I'll have the option of putting it into wireless transfer mode to transfer everything that's on this phone onto that phone, which I will then do, and then I'll just have a couple of data files to transfer across to complete the setup. So here is the home screen as it first appears. I'm going to rearrange that because I want to group together communications programs and put the camera on the quick launch bar and so on.
So here are the other two screens that you see when you first turn the phone on before you change anything, and here are the first two screens of proper stuff after I've rearranged them a bit. So here we are in the car. We've got Google Maps running on Android Auto on the car screen. Obviously the phone screen is blank. We can also use it for things like Amazon Music or anything else that Android Auto is compatible with. So with the sun in the wrong position, I managed to get a nice photo of Judith's boys and then of Judith herself filming them on the Weir, having good fun learning how to use that. Here we are about to set off on the Saturday morning, and then going a bit further back in time. This was in Barrington after we got our takeaway, trying to get the sunset, which really does look quite good. It was even better in real life. And here in the back garden, this is not zoomed in, this is zoomed in. Even zoomed in, the video is still quite good, although the birds weren't really performing. They've been a lot closer earlier on in the day, but that's the way it is, isn't it? I wanted to get a tread depth photo. As you can see, the camera made quite a good job of that, and this is just another photo taken in the garden when I was watching the birds. So quite pleased with the way the camera worked.